Good morning. I gotta make us recording so everybody knows. That way we can share this out with everybody. Good morning, Valerie.
Good morning. It's Monday.
It is Monday. How are you?
I'm doing good.
I had,
Energized.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
guys. But you're gonna say the same thing I was gonna say. You go first.
Nope, you go first. I didn't mean to interrupt. I've had
I
way too much of this.
haven't had enough. I said I'm energized by this weekend for our first in-person cohort we've had since 2020.
Is that crazy? 2.5 years since we've been in person, and I will tell
Yeah,
you, it is a little bit like riding a bike, but you know how you just never forget. But what
yeah,
a marked difference between um, speaking to them face to face and the energy and doing it virtually. Now, I think that we have had some very successful virtual cohorts because because of the people involved. You know, they're
right.
receptive, we're giving, we're receptive. It's just there's a lot of communication going on the Zoom. But man, to be back in person was so cool.
Yes, it was very it was awesome. And the businesses again are incredible. The entrepreneurs are incredible.
Yep.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. I'm very
Mhm.
excited about it. I didn't, you know, it wasn't that I was nervous about going back in person, but because I wasn't. I don't, you know, when I get in front of the classes, I'm not nervous at all. But I'm more nervous isn't the right word to describe how I feel. I'm so compelled to make sure they understand the concepts, especially these first discovery pieces at the very beginning, because that can make or break the rest of their journey. And it just is, gosh, to see their synapses and their light bulbs goes. I said to one of the participants, and you'll remember, it was this is what we live for. There's one participant that made a comment about his military skills aren't transferable to be. It was not very. It doesn't have an entrepreneurial mindset, and immediately I was like, it was like I was like I put my finger in a light socket, and I said, I cannot wait until you have that moment where the light bulb goes off and you realize that those things that you learned about. And that the discipline you learned and the teamwork and all of those other things are exactly the skills you need as an entrepreneur and
Yeah.
once that trigger flips, their whole outlook is different. Now they're no longer fighting against the current. Now they're actually flowing with it. It's so cool to see every single time.
Yeah, every time. Every time.
So I
Well,
had I had something interesting happen on Saturday when I got home, and I want
oh,
to share this because it's really relevant to what we do and what we tell people. So I'm sure you and everybody else that's watching has seen my gardening endeavors, right? I've got corn that's now going to be this tall in just 2 weeks, and I've got all kinds of other veggies and herbs that I'm growing to put into the planter boxes in my yard. But I was especially excited about these. These are asparagus shoots.
oh
So you buy these, and there is a lot more of them in here than I ever thought. And you just plant them in the ground. And asparagus is an interesting plant because it you cut the tops off and eat the asparagus, and it grows another asparagus. Sort of like frogs will grow another leg or whatever amphibious creature that grows their stuff back. A
this
starfish
is
will grow
tough
another
back.
thing. But and then while that's interesting enough, this is what's really interesting. I'm going to put this up here so you can see it. Do you see what it says under hi? My name is
Yeah.
veteran owned business. Now, this was just a happy accident because I had no idea that this person that I bought these asparagus roots from were veteran owned businesses. And that's the problem. The problem is that the veteran community, entrepreneur community, doesn't do a good enough job of saying, hey, I'm a veteran owned business. You and me and the others in Action Zone and a lot of the cohort members, when we go out to do business with people, we always ask, are you a veteran owned business? That's because they don't advertise that they are. But we would frequent veteran owned businesses more if we knew you existed. So what are you doing, all of you out in Facebook land? What are you doing to make sure that people know that you're a veteran owned business? Because it's so critical. You don't have to say, yeah, don't have to get your veteran owned business certification from the VA or service disabled veteran owned small business, but you should at least tell people because that's important to a lot of us. So
Mhm.
now I'm off my soapbox.
So where do you tell us about the business? Like, how did you find them? We should probably
They're
have
just
that
on
person.
Amazon. And nowhere
Ah,
on their Amazon listing did they say veteran owned business. I had
yeah.
no clue until I got the card with the asparagus shoots. And it was the very first thing I saw. Before I even saw the asparagus, I saw the card and I went, oh my gosh, why didn't he let me know? Mr. Reebok. I wonder if that's his real name. But veteran owned, you just have to, it's important. Women owned businesses, it's apparent. They're female, right? You say I'm the founder of Acme, whatever, and they say, well, that's a woman-owned business. And women, I think, are more readily um, able and willing to put woman-owned business on there.
Mhm,
Um, but for whatever reason, and I know that there's probably a ton of reasons, but for
mhm.
whatever reasons there are, they're not good enough reasons to not share that you are a veteran owned business because people are looking to support those businesses. And if you don't identify as such, then we have no idea.
Yeah, my sister randomly got my mother some wine glasses for Christmas last year. And the little card, it's a veteran, one member is a veteran and one member is a law enforcement veteran. And so of course I went and bought some.
Of course, that's how this works. You can beat yourself up over how to properly sell your product or service, but the first thing to do is to tell people about you because
Uh-huh.
we talked about this in the first class of every Action Zone Activate program. The first class we talk about that people only buy from people they know, like and trust, which is not true. They will buy from anybody that solves their painful problem, but they will buy from a self-identified veteran-owned business or women-owned business or Latino-owned business or minority disadvantaged-owned business, whatever. They're looking, not only are consumers, individual consumers. This is really the crux of it, and I didn't think about it till just now. But all of these big companies and small companies for that matter, but particularly the big companies with deep pockets, they have supplier diversity initiatives and they set aside a certain amount of their spending dollars to give contracts to all of these assorted groups: veterans, women, service disabled, minority owned, disadvantaged, you name it. And if you don't tell them that you are, I didn't know if I had it the right way. If you don't tell them that you are, and you don't go out there and solicit those, then you are missing the boat because this is a much easier sale to make. All other things being equal, if you are one of those diverse categories that they have set aside dollars to spend with you, then you've already beat half the people that came in because they don't have that diversity, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, first, let me say good morning to Denise. Denise Rivera is visiting us,
Hi,
um,
Denise.
who
I
I
think
saw
I'm
on
talking
Facebook.
to Denise this week.
Yay. I'm so excited to have her back in class. I saw that she went to visit her daughter and grandbaby this weekend. Um, you're so right because people, not only for diversity spin in corporations, but people like to patron from groups that for some reason it resonates with them.
Hmm.
Like I'm a veteran, so I would like to support veteran and military spouse owned businesses. So good point, Rosie.
Well, I come across these not because I'm really smart, but because shit happens, and it's
I
the shit that
want to
did.
know. I want to know. You know what we should do? We should reach out to them and have them on the show.
Absolutely, that'd be a great.
Uh,
And then I'll ask them how successful they've been by putting some veteran-owned business. It's a nice little
yeah,
quality card too. It's very, very thick. It's very nice. Oh, anyway,
yeah.
I'm gonna find
There's
out
also,
what other things they sell so I can, because it's called hand picked. Oh, I should tell you that it's called Hand Picked Nursery. So if
nice.
you want to go to handpickednursery.com, um, they guarantee their plants if the instructions are used. I love that. We guarantee our plants if instructions are used. So, men, if you're not willing to follow the instructions, have your wife do this because they will follow instructions.
That's so funny. Handpicked what?
Handpicked Nursery.com.
Nursery. There's another, I need to reach out to her. There's a veteran-owned business out in St. Pete Beach. It's like a home decor, very, what do they call that? I'm not really into design. So it's like modern, not modern, but mid-century modern.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Her name is Callie. Actually, Jeremy and I actually went and looked at her house. That's how I found out that they were veterans.
Yeah.
Well, because we're looking to buy a house, and we went and looked, and there's some military paraphernalia, and the realtor I overheard was telling another person that was in the open house that she owned a store in St. Pete Beach. So I started following her on Instagram. So she's gonna have her on the show. We talked about having Ryan on the show.
Also known as stalking.
Yeah.
There's a fine line.
No. I did talk to Ryan about being on the show so we can get caught up on his nonprofit, but he was unavailable this morning. I wanted to hear, an update.
I do too. Did he give you an alternate date?
No, I haven't been able to find time to respond because Saturday was a long day.
I could see that on the Facebook pages.
Yeah, I had, we had our first class, then I had the Veterans Women brunch that we do once a month with Maxine, and then I had the Stay in Step fundraising gala that night. So I didn't see Jeremy and my little puppy Kane for very much on Saturday. So, oh look, I forgot to change my name. What's going on other than our class? What's coming up?
Well, we do have Action Zone Incubate coming up on October, I want to say 5th, and now I can't. I cleaned part of my desk because it was an absolute disaster area all weekend long, preparing for the class and doing bunker lab stuff, and it just was a mess. Anyway, I think it's October 5th. I'll verify the date. And Action Zone Incubate is like that next stage. You're generating revenue. It is the 5th.
It is the 5th. Not too late to register.
No, not at all. Not at all. Incubate is the next program after you've launched your business, you're generating revenue or very close to generating revenue, and you're experiencing those growing pains that happen for absolutely every new business, regardless of the industry. You're not sure what to do with your taxes. You're trying to figure out exactly how to implement your marketing plan. You haven't quite tackled the social media thing yet, and you're struggling with that. You're trying to keep your books on something besides Excel spreadsheet, which can be so cumbersome. You're thinking about hiring your first person. All of these things that happen to every single business after they launch is what Action Zone Incubate helps you manage through. As a cohort, you work on these problems alongside subject matter experts in those regions related to what you specifically are having a problem with. So we pull everybody that's in the Incubate program and find out what are their hot buttons this month, or just generally since they got to Action Zone Incubate. And then we bring subject matter experts in to address those specific issues that they have, give them an opportunity a couple of weeks to work on those things, that the suggestions that were made. Then they come back, talk about it with each other, find out what worked, what didn't, who tweaked it in a way that helped them the best, and then introduce another subject matter expert based on that long list of topics that new business owners struggle with. We got it, right? We've both done this, right?
Yeah.
We wish we had somebody that could walk us through some of these common things. And it doesn't matter if you own a bakery or a distillery or medical supplies, it doesn't matter. You're all having those same challenges because you've gotten through your business model, you've launched, you're starting to make money, or you're so very close to making money. I want to make that distinction. You should be generating revenue in Incubate. But if revenue is imminent, you just need some of this extra push in the topics that we're talking about, then you're absolutely eligible to participate in Incubate. And we want to see you. We have 3 people that are previous cohort members, alumni from previous cohorts that'll be in the program. There's still more room for others, and we've got some new people, and then I think it's a good experience. I think it will really help.
Yeah, it's definitely pretty powerful, and I'm really excited that Jeremy's facilitating it.
Well, that's the best part, isn't it? You know, if for those of you that have been through an Action Zone program, you know that Jeremy Lavin, Valerie's better half, has this incredible talent to take really hard, mind-boggling, confusing topics like all of your financial statements and make them something that you can digest easily and understand and then immediately implement. And Jeremy is the facilitator for Incubate, and we're so happy.
Yeah. He's also really good at getting you to think about pricing and how it ties into, everything.
Yeah, I've had a
Sales.
couple of comments from some of the cohort members that said that he gave them some very good advice on that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm hoping, what is it? I'm having a brain fart.
It's Monday morning. I get it.
I know. The young lady with the humidor.
Oh, Melanie.
Melanie, if you're out there, she needs to be in Incubate. I'm going to call her.
You do that.
I'm going to call her.
Do that. Yeah, if you were part of if you're listening or watching later and you were ever a part of Action Zone programs, you got an email from me saying, we're having this. Please, we'd love to have you come back and participate in this because we think it will really help, especially those that have already been through the program. We know where they're at. We know, what they're doing and how much this could help them.
Yeah.
But you can lead a horse to water, right?
Yeah, I know. Don't we have a workshop coming up?
Yes, on September 27th. Which is just like in 8 days, actually. Is that next? Yeah, I guess that's next
Tuesday.
Next Tuesday. April Caldwell, one of our board members and founder of Faven, and just rocking it. I mean, if you've seen the Facebook posts that she's posted, she was on that not the game show, that reality show, In a Minute, or
something.
I can remember the name of it. Won that show at kind of a pitch competition by Zoom on national television. She is the reason I'm really happy that she's facilitating this is because since we met April a couple years ago, and when she first moved to Tampa, she has, like a bloodhound, tracked down all of these resources that she could use to make Faven grow. And then she got stuck in the then the pandemic hit, and her business was really impacted by that because it is a face-to-face kind of business, but she was able to pivot and keep moving forward. And, she's just like the queen of resource development. She just knows it all. So she's facilitating the workshop. The workshop is called Take Action Resources. It's all about the resources that serve entrepreneurs in the Tampa Bay region as well as nationally. And so April is facilitating it. She has a lot to share. The Entrepreneur Collaborative Center, David is going to be there to talk about all of the things that happen at the ECC. Russ Barnes is going to be there to talk about Toastmasters because there's not a business person in the world that doesn't need it or can't use it or can't benefit from it. And then we've got some surprise people coming. So it'll be great for just figuring out what's out there, what you need. And also a great opportunity if somebody that you need is not represented on the people that are coming, then you have an opportunity to ask everybody that's there, do you know where I can find? Do you know who has this skill? It's one of our most popular workshops because it just is all about what you need. Tell us what you need. Somebody in the room is either going to know or is going to know where to find out. So, Tuesday, September 27th, 6 p.m., Entrepreneur Collaborative Center in Ybor.
Awesome. I'm disappointed that I'm going to miss that one.
Me too.
Oh, let's see what else we got. Oh, October 11th, the Eventbrite should go out this week, hopefully today. We have Entrepreneur Spotlight, and it's going to be at Factory on 5th in Ybor. Just the coolest little artist maker space. And I met one of the founders this weekend because April and I went and reconned it, which was another thing I did on Saturday. And he's a Marine veteran, an incredible artist. Yeah, he's born and raised here in Ybor, from what I gathered. So that's going to be really cool. But it's going to be Chris Baez and his wife, Mikkel, or no, that's not how you pronounce her name. Anyway, his wife, I don't know why I'm having brain farts this morning because this is my first cup of coffee.
Well, at least you didn't oversleep.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I try to drink 2 or 3 of these in the morning before I even drink coffee. But anyway, we're going to hear their story and their journey. And then we're going to do a quick workout because their business is personal training and nutrition. Dr. Baez is a nutritionist, so she's got a lot of information to share too. I'm pretty excited about that.
I am really excited about that one because
Mm,
all of the entrepreneurial spotlights are cool because you get to see in person somebody's business and hear about what it took for them to get there. Had a
yeah.
conversation late last week about somebody that I worked with in the notary business. Hadn't heard from her in, I don't know, 8 or 9 months, and she asked me how things were going and if I was still doing the notary stuff. And I said I'm still doing some, but I'm not active in it because my nonprofit Action Zone is we expanded into South Florida and we're having other expansion plans. And she said, "Oh, I didn't realize that you were that involved in that um, in your nonprofit." And I said, "Oh yeah, since 2018." And she said, "Oh, I thought this was just kind of a sudden thing." And it made me think, people think when they see somebody's successful business that, oh, they just became successful. They got really lucky. All the stars aligned. They don't understand that a glacier that you see at the top is only like 10% of the entire glacier. And that's really what it is with
Yeah.
entrepreneurs is that, you struggle for years for everybody to think that you're an instant success, which is so
Right, right.
crazy to think about. And that's what's great about the entrepreneurial spotlights is that we get to see these businesses that are successful, these business people that are successful, and get to really understand that there is a lot of stuff that happened for a long time before you saw that top of the iceberg.
Yeah.
Somebody that we know really well posted. I think I think they had been talking to people at the Air Force birthday celebration and mentioned that through conversations that they had at that event, that they realized that people that look like they have it all together are just struggling like everyone, all the rest of us.
Yeah, of
None
course.
of us are better. And the Entrepreneur Spotlight helps you internalize that. You get to celebrate their successes, hear from their failures and their achievements, and more importantly, realize that wherever you are in this journey, you're exactly where you're supposed to be, and you're going to get to where they are if you just keep moving forward.
Yeah, yeah.
I
It is.
really need to stop drinking coffee this morning.
I know. Yeah, had lunch with a friend yesterday, and we were talking about my friend Bridget Bello. And Tampa Bay Business and Wealth is a startup as well. They've been around for a couple years, and all the behind the scenes stuff that happens when you're building and growing a business.
Yep.
That people just and I've known her for years, and sharing some of our experience, she's like, wow, really?
Yeah, that's usually the first comment. I had no idea. Really?
Yeah. And the same with they're killing it. They're doing amazing things with their publication. But yeah, it is a journey, which is why we have Action Zone, so you don't have to venture on that journey alone, because
Yep.
we've all been there. We've all had those sucker punches in the chin, and
Yeah, for the good, bad, and the ugly.
yeah, so crazy. All right, well, I think that it's time to hit the ground running for Monday morning. And
But if I
um,
stay here and talk to you, I don't have to do any real work.
well, I have a 9:30 call with our friends at Local Best.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. They have so Local Fest is a platform that introduces investors to potential companies to invest in, and founders can get on there and create a profile and be introduced to or find investors.
Right.
And it's a paid platform. It's not free, so you got to pay to be on there, I believe, or it's got levels. But anyway, they have a pre-deployment program, which that's my meeting about, so I can learn more about what does that mean, what
Right.
kind of resources is available to veterans and military spouses. So
That's awesome. I
stay
can't wait to hear
tuned. I
about
will be
that.
sharing.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear about that. Well,
Yeah.
I'm sure I will see you on Zoom at some point today.
Yes. Probably multiple times.
Yeah. Mondays are our long days. Our first meeting is at 9 a.m. together, and our last meeting is sometime this evening. Um,
Yeah, 6:30 p.m.
yep.
On Monday. So
Yeah,
a
it's
long
Mondays are
day.
a long day. So,
Yeah.
well, have a great one. I will see you later today. And for all of you, if you are interested in, it's not too late to join Activate if you're trying to figure out how to get this thing moving in the right direction, whether it's pre-launch or you've launched and you're just not growing as fast as you think you should. And Incubate coming up in October, really, really a dynamic program. Want to see you in it. And then next Tuesday, the Take Action Resources Workshop. So we'll throw all of those in the chat so that you can register and inquire about more information. Otherwise, you know how to get in touch with us.
All right. We'll see y'all.
Have a great Monday.
Bye.